everybody. I have huge news. Better buckle up, bitches, because shit's about to get really exciting. I am launching a brand new giveaway. It starts today, and the prize is worth $799. This is literally the biggest giveaway I have ever held in terms of monetary value, and I am so stoked. Here's the deal. A few weeks ago, the folks at 99 Designs contacted me. They said that they really enjoy my channel, and they were wondering if I could host a giveaway for you guys. If you're not familiar, 99 Designs is the world's largest creative platform for connecting writers with graphic designers or other creative professionals, like book cover designers. See where I'm going with this? 99 Designs enables writers to host contests, which then allows you to receive a wide variety of cover concepts from different designers. You get to engage with your favorites in order to continue on in the contest, and then by the end, you get to choose your absolute favorite design in order to become your book cover concept. If you want more info into the process, I've got it linked below. Check it out. For this giveaway, one lucky winner is going to receive $799 worth of credits on the 99 Designs platform. This is the equivalent of a gold level book design contest. You get to use these funds toward your very own book cover. Full disclosure, 99 Designs is not sponsoring this video. They are not paying me to hold this giveaway. We just thought it was a really fucking cool idea. Like I said, one lucky winner is walking away with nearly $800 worth of credits toward their very own book cover. Stick around until the end of this video to find out how to enter. Before I give you the details, today we are talking about dialogue tags as well as the narrative that surrounds dialogue. Most writers think dialogue tags are very simple, but no, not quite. Lots of people be fucking up their tags. I've done it. It's very common among newbies, and I'm here to help you out with my top 10 tips for tags. Number 1, you don't always need a dialogue tag. A lot of newbie writers are under the impression that you need a dialogue tag every time there's a line of dialogue. But here's how it sounds when you write like that. Hello, he said. Hi, she said. How are you, he said. I've been better, she said. What's wrong, he said. Sounds stupid, don't it? Dialogue tags exist for one reason: to clarify who is speaking at any given time. You only need a tag if it's not clear who is speaking. Bottom line. This means that if only 2 people are speaking, you very rarely need a dialogue tag, because typically every other line is going to correspond to the opposite character. Additionally, whether you've got 2 people or 10 people speaking, quite often narrative does the job of a dialogue tag. For example, say you wrote, Jenna furrowed her brow. Are you okay? It's clear that Jenna is the one who is speaking because of the action that took place before the dialogue. So in this case, you don't need a dialogue tag at all. Number 2, said is not dead. One of the things a lot of people learned in school, including myself, is that said is a boring dialogue tag. Why would you use said when you can say exclaimed, replied, or ejaculated? This is bullshit. Said is not dead. It's an invisible dialogue tag that allows the reader to see who is speaking without slowing the pace of the conversation. Does that mean you have to use said as your only dialogue tag? No, but it should be your first choice most of the time. Tags like contested, conveyed, advocated, or inquired aren't gonna make you look smarter. I promise. Which brings us to number 3. Sometimes it's okay to ditch said. Emphasis on sometimes. Very minimal occurrences. If the person isn't merely saying something, they are screaming or muttering or whispering, then it's okay to ditch said because you are conveying the manner in which they're speaking. However, again, do not do this every time someone screams or every time someone whispers. 1, because readers should be able to tell how the character is speaking due to the flow of the conversation as well as the subject matter. And 2, because as we already covered, we only use dialogue tags when we absolutely need to clarify who is speaking. If it's already clear, then forget about it. Number 4. Just use their damn names. Sometimes we refer to character names via dialogue tags so often that it starts to feel repetitive. I know, I'll just call them something else. Jenna becomes the brunette. Cliff becomes the blue-eyed man. This is stupid. Don't do it. Just stick to their names. Unless you're trying to sneak in physical descriptions, this is very awkward to read. But Jenna, there's too many of them. I've said the name Clifford over and over again. If you've said his name in too many tags, that means you probably have too many tags. Instead of swapping out his name with the blue-eyed man, go through your tags and see which ones can get the chop. Number 5, tone down the adverbs. Sometimes people like to spice up their dialogue tags with some happy little adverbs. She said quietly, he said loudly. 9 times out of 10, this is probably a bad idea. A lot of people hate on adverbs and say that you shouldn't use them at all, but realistically, there's a time and a place for them. The thing is, most of the time, the adverb isn't necessary. It's just an adjective tacked on to a very weak verb. Instead of using 2 words to convey something, you could instead use one very powerful verb or no words at all. For example, say your tag is, she said quietly. You could instead say, she whispered. Again, we don't want to ditch said too often, but in this case, it works. Say you're using the tag, he said loudly. You could delete the tag altogether and just add an exclamation point at the end of the string of dialogue. An exclamation point means that the dialogue is an exclamation, which is typically high-pitched or loud. Number 6, new voice, new line. This rule is simple. If a new character is speaking, you start a new line. Each change in voice is a new paragraph because each new voice is a new subject. Plus, if multiple characters are speaking in the same paragraph, you're just gonna confuse the shit out of your reader. How are you? He said. I'm great, she said. If you put all of this on one line, you done fucked up. Number 7, narrative and voice go together. As I already mentioned, sometimes writers use narrative as opposed to dialogue tags to convey who is speaking. Jenna crossed her arms. Isn't dialogue fun? If that's the case, these sentences typically occur on the same line. They are treated as the same paragraph. Now say there are multiple people speaking and there's dialogue associated with each of them. Jenna crossed her arms. Isn't dialogue fun? I don't know. I think it's kind of lame. Peter swirled into a circle. In this case, the Jenna dialogue and narrative combo is its own line. Then the Peter dialogue and narrative combo gets its own line because remember, new voice, new paragraph. Number 8, pacing matters. The pacing of a conversation is going to dictate how much narrative and how many dialogue tags you utilize. If the characters are having a long, relaxed conversation, then this is going to occur at a slower pace. In this case, you have a greater ability to include narrative or tags when needed. You can describe their body language or clothing. You can get into their tone of voice or facial expressions. However, if the conversation is firing off, like a heated yelling match, then the pacing is going to be much quicker. That means narrative and dialogue tags need to be kept at a minimum in order to keep the momentum going. For a fast-paced conversation, only use narrative and dialogue tags when absolutely crucial. Number 9, avoid repetition. I know I said is invisible, but when you start using it over and over again in close proximity, it starts to become very visible in a very bad way. Hello, he said. Hi, she said. How are you? He said. I've been better, she said. Remember that horrific example? How could you forget? But Jenna, if I'm supposed to rely on said, how do I avoid repeating myself? By doing everything I already told you to do, you dummy. As we already covered, you should only be using dialogue tags when it's absolutely absolutely necessary for the sake of clarity. But even if you're convinced you're already doing that, you still may be using them a lot more than you've anticipated. Because of this, I recommend doing a search for the word said in your manuscript. Personally, I try not to use the dialogue tag said more than 2 to 3 times on a single Word doc page, which for me is about 350 words. And number 10, show, don't tell. A lot of people use dialogue tags to tell the reader how the characters are feeling. Dialogue tags suck, Jenna said angrily. This is a really shitty way to express a character's feeling because there's nothing remotely visual or interesting about it. Instead, ditch the tag altogether and rely on narrative to convey the emotion. Jenna balled her hands into fists. Dialogue tags suck. With this example, we've created a visual to go along with the dialogue that perfectly illustrates how the character is feeling and is a lot more engaging to read. So that's all I got for you today. Or is it? Haha, I tricked you. It's giveaway time. As I already mentioned, one lucky winner is going to receive $799 worth of credits to use on 99 designs toward a gold level book design contest, which means this person's gonna be walking away with a book cover. Entering is super easy. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and leave a comment on this video down below. Now, I know not everyone who comments on my videos is writing a novel, so in order to make it super clear that your comment is an entry for my giveaway, leave a heart somewhere in your comment. It can be a text-based heart, it can be an emoji heart, it can be 1 heart, it can be 20 hearts, whatever. If there is a heart somewhere in your comment, I will count it as an entry toward this giveaway. The winner's credits can be used at any time until December 31st, 2019, and of course, this giveaway is open internationally. You have 1 week to enter, subscribe, and comment. The winner will be announced in Wednesday's video. Thank you so much to 99 Designs for hitting me up for this giveaway. I've been sitting on it for a while, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Savior's Champion is available in ebook, paperback, hardback, signed hardback, as well as audiobook. If you are new to audiobooks, you can listen to The Savior's Champion for free on Audible. I've got all the links listed below. And be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and of course, you can tweet me at Jenna Moreci. Bye!
This is Rondies. Why the fuck haven't you subscribed to Jenna's channel? Do you really want to face me? If you don't do it, you know what will happen. I'll rip out your tongue, torture you, then leave your rotten corpse out for the birds to feast on it. Now press the goddamn button. And the bell too.